What's good, my G's? It's your boy Snow, Ignorant Gamers in the house. How you doing? How you living? How you gaming? Of course, if you don't already know, G stands for Gamers. We in the building doing a. This is almost an Ask the Gamers video, but since the homie Lance Turner said AMA, I'ma label it as such. I got Ramon and Edgar here. Say what up to the people, Ramon and Edgar.
Peace.
Yo.
So, th-
Wagwan, Badman.
so this question, as I said, comes from Lance Turner, and I'm gonna read the whole thing out. I know you guys don't really do AMAs on IG, but do you guys think of the current state of gaming? He said he meant to say, what do you guys think of the current state of gaming? I love this style of game, referring to Gravity Rush 2, but in general I kind of feel like the gamer laser focus on 1080 60 frames per second kind of killed the creativity. I was really looking forward to Scalebound, but seems the good shit keeps getting canceled and everything else gets rehashed every year. No need for a video, but I wasn't sure where the best place to have this discussion was, and we're having a video for you anyway.
This is
So,
the best place to discuss this bullshit, son. We gonna lean in. Yeah, hold on. Where you get that Battlefield from, real quick, Snow?
I was in the comparison section. I was in the store section and I scrolled down to where they had backwards compatibility,
I see it.
and it was like the third or the fourth tile.
Got it.
That's Bad Company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Back Company too, $20.
I'm gonna have to jump on that.
Um,
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
I wonder if my DLC stuff will still count. But yeah. So yeah, Edgar, you've been out the loop for quite a while, and I think other than some of your lifestyle changes, there's been a reason why you haven't really gave two shits about gaming. So why don't I start with you? What's your take on the current state of gaming?
Well, I guess that part of the reason why I didn't game so much. One had to do with a lot of the stuff that I've been really busy with, as far as personal life and work. But the really the thing is, there wasn't any games that were interesting to me. Like I played, what was the last Battlefield 4 was one I got into really good. And then I didn't play any of the other ones. I didn't play Battlefield 1. Battlefront was another one I was super excited about. Played it for a little bit. I don't know what happened. I couldn't get into it.
You also had Need for Speed.
Need for Speed, The Division, which was a big one that I was looking forward to for so long. Played it for a little bit. Plus, you guys left me like behind because you guys were so ahead on the point on the point system or the ranking system.
Who's you guys? I didn't touch that.
You mean CG? He's talking about CG and them,
CG,
not me.
CG.
Shit.
And Delroy.
Like, yeah, they were so far ahead, and I was like, and really, when I got in there to game, they were like doing all the killing for me, just so I could upgrade. You know what I mean? So I could
Right, it was pulling you.
Yeah, so they could pull me. But then again, it had all its issues with the whole, like when you went into the dead zone or the dark zone.
Yeah.
And like as soon as you go in there, they demolish you, like dudes that were ranked at a higher level. Yeah, I think the one game that kind of got me back and that I play a little every once in a while now is Forza Horizon 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one game that I do play, like that I think is fun online. It's fun to play by yourself because you have all the like the bar finds, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the online is good. On top of that, I can play with my kids. Like they can play downstairs. I play upstairs. That's the one game that I play that really interested me. But other than that, I haven't looked forward to any other games.
Right.
I actually downloaded UFC 2 from EA Access.
Mm-hmm.
I even forgot I had EA Access. I went down to my little tiles. I looked. Oh shit! I got EA Access. I forgot about it. So I jumped in there. I downloaded that game. My kids wanted to download
Unravel.
No, Modern Plants vs Zombies.
Yeah, PvZ
Yeah,
too.
yeah, they wanted that. So I was like, I can't believe I forgot I had EA Access. You can freaking play all the Maddens and all
Best deal in gaming, baby.
Yeah. So anyway, I forgot about that, but I jumped onto that. And downloaded UFC 2, only to realize that I hated the controls on UFC 2, so I reverted back to UFC 1. So see, that's the thing. It's like they make new games, and sometimes they're not even better than the original. So it just turned me off. So yeah, that's where I've been. I'm waiting for a game that's gonna get me back into it. I think if anything that I would do before I buy another game is get a PS4 for
The Last of Us, the second one.
Yeah, that's like I've always wanted to play the game. I'll play the remastered version and I'll play the new one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'd rather do that first before I buy another game.
That game is dope as shit.
Yeah. So because
Really?
the funny story was I wanted to play The Last of Us. I had freaking Game Informer that had all the freaking screenshots and all that crap on it. So and then my probably like 2 weeks before they released it, my PS3 gave out on me, and I called Sony and they told me you can't fix it. So tossed that bitch in the trash, and yeah, kept me from playing The Last of Us. So if anything, that's what I'll do. PlayStation 4, Last of Us.
It's a real good
remastered.
play.
Yeah, and my oldest, he really wants a PS4, so might make that happen.
Yeah. RZA, so how do you feel about the current state of gaming?
Oh, I feel it's fucked.
Mm-hmm. Do tell.
Yeah, well, the problem with gaming today is there's a huge divide between developer, publisher, and consumer, and everybody's a fucking idiot, and everybody's getting pulled in directions. It's a big circle jerk. No one knows what the fuck's going on, but somehow everyone's the most informed. So let's start with the consumer. People in today's world have a general lack in respect for quality. They just don't understand it. Everyone wants things cheaper. But in the same breath, they ask for, well, why isn't this as good as? Well, it's been this way since the dawn of time. This over here that is level 10 takes 10 weeks to get there. You want to spend enough money to get you something that's level 2, which took 2 weeks. So we can get you that cheaper and faster. No. But I want level 10 for level 2 money. No, you can't have that. Not because I don't want to give you what you want, but because it's not possible. Because it's a lot more that goes into making something that's a level 10. A lot more money. No one wants to understand that. So we come to this crossroads where developers, right? And this is moving away from developers now, consumers. Now we're talking about developers. Developers are in this interesting position where they're being told that you need to knock it out of the box. We got these earnings to live up to. And they say, well, I got all these crazy ideas, but if I do this, it's more of a risk that the consumer will not like it, and we're going to take a hit on our sales, and we're not going to meet those figures. So the developer puts his creativity out there. He goes to the publisher, and the publisher, who thinks he's now a gamer, says, no, that's not what we want. We just want a Call of Duty 4. You made 3 last year. We want 4. Change the uniforms, change the story. That's it. Nah, we don't need any more of that crazy shit, right? And the developer's heartbroken. Yo, why won't you let me create? Let me be me, right? And we've seen so many of these articles, and we've heard so many developers pour their hearts out over social media about this, and how the publisher's crippling the developer and all of this crazy shit. But somewhere along the line, the publisher's way always doesn't work. So now the developer, he comes back to the developer and says, you know what? Fine. What do you want to do? Because we're sliding here. We're not making as much money. And he says, I got an idea. Let's put jetpacks on the motherfucker. And now we got Call of Duty, Black Ops 2, or whatever the fuck that is, and people are flying around. And the consumer goes, nah, I'm not with that, B. I'm out of here. So now everybody's fucking confused. And then there's the YouTube guy who never touched the game, played it for 10 minutes. Nah, I don't fuck with that. Then there's a YouTuber guy who runs a fucking Xbox channel, and he says, you know what? Fuck that Sony pony shit. I'm not with that. And then we got this PlayStation guy, Forza Horizon 2, fuck you. I drive to clubs all day. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? And there's no journalism. And journalism, and this is to me the number one piece of what is fucked up in the gaming industry, is the lack of journalism.
Real journalism
has always been the cornerstone of what makes this industry go around. Journalism is research. Journalism is it's on paper an understanding of all things involved in an initiative.
And promotes
discovery.
anymore. And promotes discovery.
Yes. Now, you guys, and you would only hear, some of you that are new here, some of you don't really see me as much, you would never know the story behind the Xbox One if I didn't tell you. Maybe you saw my rant video, maybe you didn't. But in 10 years, we're going to sit down and watch some fucking well-made documentary on how Microsoft hit this shit on the head. Boom. And the Xbox One and DRM was ahead of its time. Boom. And everyone's going to be like, yo, that's crazy. I didn't know that. Because at the time I was being a dumbass and some fuckface YouTuber was telling me what DRM was and wasn't, and he didn't understand what it was. Because you're a fat fuck gamer anyway. Why would you want to leave your house? Why would you want to leave your house to get a game? But if you're a developer, right? If you rely on software to feed your family, it is in your best interest that you support the entity that's trying to help you protect that. But you're a gamer. If you're a gamer, you're not for protecting the developer? What kind of gamer are you? You're a fucking consumer. You're not a gamer. You're no passion about this shit. You just want what you want when you want it. You're not a gamer. And that whole shit just keeps going around and around. Like, right, yo, I come home, I'd rather, after working a 12-hour day, I'd rather take an hour walk after work and take pictures of fuck faces in the city than to come home and play a game. That's how I feel right now about gaming. I think the state of, and you know what? I stand firm to this point. As an Xbox dude, I am 1,000% happy. Because from day one, when the Xbox touched down, I got games that were familiar to me. And these are my cornerstones. I get my Forza, I get my Battlefield, and I'm gonna get a Halo coming sometime. My Halo was delivered. And my fucking 5 Forzas was delivered. Right? That's what's important to me. Because these are the games, when I turn on my Xbox, I'm gonna gravitate toward. But in between, I want to play some off shit. What's it gonna be? Overwatch was dope, right? Overwatch was like that. Like, damn, Overwatch kind of saved the summer for me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I was on Overwatch. I was on Overwatch instead of playing
Battlefield.
Out spending $100 for a bottle in the club. I like this. I like where this is going. But Overwatch was one of a kind. There was nothing like that. And this is not even on every fucking console. It happens on the PlayStation. It happens on the Xbox, the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360. It's like we get into these big name rinse and repeat cycles, and then the really truly dope stuff just falls victim to the politics. And it fucking sucks. And that's exactly what's going on now. People are crucifying Nintendo. $300, I can get a PlayStation 4. Well, fuck boy, buy a PlayStation 4. And the people that are saying this dumb shit are the people that already own a PlayStation 4.
And at the same time,
Xbox.
And at the same time, you can't carry a PlayStation 4 with you on the train, in the car, without a generator.
That's what I said in my LD video talking about this shit. Don't fucking tell me Nintendo doesn't have a product with validity, because how much hours of battery life do you get when you unplug your Xbox, fuckboy? Let's wait.
Mm-hmm.
And these are influencers. This is what fucking bothers me. These are influencers that are putting these things in people's minds, and they're running out there complaining. How the fuck are you complaining about battery life on something that literally has no fucking equal? How? How? Who the fuck made you the engineering god? How do you know how long a battery life is supposed to last on a Tegra processor with a 6.7-inch display running a fucking console game?
At 720.
Who the fuck are you supposed to be to make that decision?
And then we don't even know if it's running 720 at 60.
Dude, I, this is gaming. I don't want no fucking part of it. Don't call me. Only call me when it's time to get on the battlefield and shoot some shit. Because the rest of the politics behind it is just fucking retarded. And the consumers are retarded. The developers are fucking retarded. And the publishers are ruining the industry. And journalism is talking about fucking Donald Trump. That's what's going on. So that's how I feel about it.
So, Lance, there you go. I'll give you mine right now before we get into this. Before we close this video up. So first off, yeah, the art style for Gravity Rush 2 look great, look amazing, looks refreshing. And then we talk about the current state of gaming, and these two guys just hit it on the head. Now for me, I've always been a gamer that try to play a lot of different things, and then a lot of times I suffer because of that, because I don't get to finish many things. The stuff that I finish be the super sticky stuff, and then I got some stuff that I really enjoy playing so much that I'll go back and do a level over and over and over again, like Vanquish. Vanquish is one of those games, and Dishonored, right? Dishonored was a fresh look for me. Vanquish was a fresh look for me. Few and far in between within the realms of the games that I like to play. Those games, Dishonored wins that, but I won't get another Vanquish. You know what I'm saying? And because everything has become, instead of having this wide open field, you're getting put into a small fucking parking lot with a huge gate on it, because the publishers who have investors are pressuring the publishers, who are then pressuring developers to create something that's going to be a general success. And then we still have this one problem where, is gaming art or is gaming the other thing? Because if it's artistic, you're supposed to let games like Journey fly. You get what I'm saying? Games like Journeys fly. Games like Final Gears fly. Final Fantasies fly. You're supposed to let all this shit fly, right? But then you got some investor like in a publisher as well, like, oh wait a minute, Call of Duty has been declining in sales for the longest, but they're still making their $1 million mark. They still sell tens of millions of copies. Why don't I have a call? Why have you, fuckface publisher, have not delivered me a Call of Duty game? I want to sell 8 million. I want to sell 10 million. And it's like, bro, they're the unicorn right now. Like, this is what we are. The other part with the state of gaming, I feel like there's way too many games on the market. Now, you may not feel like this, but for like these guys, they play their specific games. I play my specific games, but I'm always looking for something very cool. There's way too many. The quality seal that Nintendo started back in the NES days means absolutely nothing. And if you're on Steam, you understand what that means. I mean, DayZ standalone is still broken, if I'm not mistaken. And people have paid money for that. Then War Z, which was a War Inc. free-to-play, and they used that engine to create their zombie version of DayZ. That game was so broken that they pulled it off, but that's not half of the warpath. Me and Riz have made videos talking about, yo, stop buying games, stop pre-ordering games, and then in that pre-ordering games, we talked about why, because when they release, they're coming out broken. Now, that has a quality issue to where now it's like, well, damn, this game's coming out, do I buy it? Because it could be broken. That's a quality issue. Oh, just put it out because we could patch it later. Division came out, patched later. Destiny came out, patched later. Medal of Honor Warfighter came out, patched later. I'm going backwards, but I'm just saying the games that came out like that. Very few games came out working 100%. Shit, people talk shit about Hardline all fucking day, but I keep telling people and I keep reminding them. Not only was it the smoothest beta from all the Battlefield games starting that I had beta privilege to do, but it's always the best launched version. Hardline had the best launch of all the Battlefields if we start from Bad Company 2 up, period. Even over Battlefield 1, it had the best launch. But Battlefield 4 was broken for the entire life of Hardline. The entire life. Hardline came first. So then that pisses people off, and then you get into the whole point of what RZA said, and I wholeheartedly believe this. And I remember talking to him about this in like 2010 or 2011. I said, "Yo, if we don't put a stop to the clickbait shit from IGN and GameSpot, this is gonna be a ripple effect." They never stopped it. They actually fueled the non-existent fanboy wars. The fanboy wars is just as silly as the war on drugs, because it's only hurting one. It's only hurting one person. It's only hurting one person at the end of at the end of the day. If you knew who the war on drugs actually hurt, you're that person. You're that person. You're not gonna be able to keep cranking games. First off, right? No one's recognizing that your games are going up. You don't recognize it. You don't realize it. You don't realize it. You think EA's out here doing deluxe editions or whatever that shit is. If your game's supposed to be $59.99 and your game is, and when you go buy the game, like, oh yeah, what's this other edition? Oh, $69.99, and I get this, that, and the third. I unlock early. Guess what? You just purchase some unlocks to cut your time down. And they're doing that on purpose because technically, if you think about it, out of everything up, your gas, your rent, tuition, your entertainment for movies. I know y'all see movies, right? All that shit's going up. Gaming has been $60. Gaming has been $60 for a very long time. It went up from 50. Before 50, it was the Wild Wild West show. Motherfuckers was out here buying Street Fighter 2, the original Street Fighter 2, for $85 to $115.
$90 for that bitch.
And then the MSRP was like, no, we can't have no more of this shit no more. We need to standardize this. $50. You know what I mean? And we've only been up $10 since that. And I think that's the end of the PS2 era where we went to 60, right?
Yeah.
So you throw that in there. Journalism, they do their flame-based shit, and then they don't go back to correct shit. They don't really push the culture forward the way they should be, because they're not the news media. Once they start acting like the news media, then you get news media shit. You get division. You get everybody funneling bad information and posting people like, well, here's this headline. Xbox outsells, PlayStation outsells. Bro, that doesn't fucking matter. None of that ever mattered before. Why does it matter now? They fuel this shit. So now, and I'll forever say this. I keep saying the Xbox has a gift and a curse history, lineage of what they will and won't play. Sunset Overdrive would have did absolutely well on the fucking PlayStation.
For sure.
That is an excellent game. I'm a PlayStation gamer and I'm playing Sunset Overdrive and I'm like, son, this shit is dope. What's the problem? There's no problem. There was no problem with the game.
They just don't play that shit.
Xbox people don't play it. Scalebound, I know me and Ramon went back and forth on this. I think it's something bigger than that, than what Ramon was saying, and I think it's actually something bigger than even I comprehend. But at the end of the day, I don't think Scalebound would have sold. I think people like Lance Turner, who wrote this comment, me, and a few other RPG people who play games in multiple areas, or who just happen to be a fan of either the developer or a fan of that type of game, was going to get that. But it would have sold jack squat.
Can I chime in there?
Yeah.
I want to remind people that first of all, it doesn't matter to the Xbox brand if another Xbox One is sold after this day.
Right.
It just doesn't matter. I think, and this is coming from, this is something we've discussed so many times over at Lifestyles Defined, because we are Microsoft lovers, not just Xbox whores. I think a lot of people don't understand just how powerful Microsoft is, just how much fucking money they have. And when you compare Microsoft to somebody like Apple, you know, they always say, oh, Apple's got 31 billion in the bank. Oh, that's cool, right? And Apple's out here selling you the same fucking phone time and time again. That's fine. And they can't figure out what to do next to save their lives. Microsoft's cash flow, Microsoft's year-to-year cash flow is equal to Apple, maybe a little more even, but the difference is Microsoft always sinks that back in to R&D and crazy shit. So the point here is, you're talking about a company that spends wild amounts of money to keep shit alive. just because this is what we believe in. You don't understand what I'm talking about? Look at Windows Phone. Everybody, yo, you say the word Windows Phone, it's synonymous with the word dead. But it ain't dead to Microsoft. Still millions of dollars on top of millions going into that. The original Surface, the Surface RT, Microsoft wrote that shit off. And I forgot what year it was. $1.4 billion they wrote off. That was a flop. Just the Surface RT. That was a flop. Now all of a sudden, Apple's fucking up with MacBook Pros. What are you gonna buy? What's the first thing that comes to mind that you're gonna buy? A Surface. You understand?
No, sir. I'm gonna buy a 2015 edition of a MacBook something.
Yeah, we'll enjoy that. I'm gonna buy the old shit.
Because they still got my card reader.
So when I knowing this and how I watch Microsoft, what do you call it, Microsoft watchers, right? I know Microsoft does not care about the return. They always play the long-term game, right? They understand that. They get that. And Microsoft gets most of their money from shit like Windows, shit like Office, shit like Surface. So to them, Xbox as a brand just became profitable like 2 years ago, right? They use the money that's coming from other places and they funnel it here. Nah, don't worry about it. It's losing money. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. One day it'll be on its own and it'll all pay off, right? When I look at something like Scalebound, that game wasn't canceled because of problems with developers not getting paid money and they don't have creativity. Bullshit. You want to know a publisher that cares about game developers, you look to Microsoft. Microsoft printed money for Bungie for years. Bungie didn't leave because they weren't getting treated right. They left because they wanted to leave. They didn't want to do Halo. They wanted to do something that wasn't Halo, right? Now, when I look at Scalebound, it's like, this ain't got nothing to do with no fucking business decision. I swear to you, that game just wasn't what it was supposed to be. And somebody looked at it and was like, yo, we're not taking that L. Cancel that shit. The same shit with Fable. Like, yo, we already getting hit in the head out here for games, right? And our first party titles are holding it down. Great reviews after great reviews. You think you can just come in and come out of nowhere with your 6.4 out of a 10? Nah, fuck you. Cancel that shit. Control all, delete the fucking hard drive, go home. The fuck out of my development studio. I guarantee that's what happened. I don't care how many people, yo, that game was so... How the fuck you know the game was dope? Because you see a dragon? What made you think that game looked good? Did you see somebody holding a controller and playing it? Was it a fucking car on a track like Gran Turismo where you can literally see something's wrong there? No, we knew nothing about this game. The fact that it was supposed to be a fucking PlayStation 4 knockoff game on the Xbox is why the fanboys are excited. Man, I don't want to get that shit out of here. Delete the shit. Everybody go home. We didn't take a L. Forza 7 is coming. Life moves on.
I disagree with some of that, but I'll take it with you. I take it.
You wanted the shit to come out to get a 4 so you could fucking send me some article with a smiley face. I know your style, son.
But yeah, you know what I mean? So like the current state of gaming, son, it comes down to being able to pull out, because there's a lot of times where, you know, the YouTube noise too. Like if you out here searching on YouTube and you following personalities and characters and, you know, reviewers and beef starters, you throw us in there, whatever category you throw us in there, maybe balance off some of that shit. But for the most part, you're probably following a lot of drama-based channels, and you may not understand, you may not know, but every time you're watching some of these guys, they're nudging you in one direction or another.
Every fucking time.
Every time. And if you're an Xbox person and you're watching an Xbox only channel and they don't talk 50-50, you're never going to want to see the other side. You know what I mean? If the same thing with the PlayStation dudes. If you're watching a 100% PlayStation dude who doesn't give no type of love or respect, or if they try to give props to the other side without relating it to the PlayStation side, you're never getting a clean thing. And then you're not watching IGNs. because you just don't want to watch IGN. And in my opinion, the people who aren't so connected to the gaming YouTube side of it, when they find a IGN video or a GameStop video, they get in, they get out, and that's their source. Like, they're unaffected. Like, the shit that we talk about is not on this person's level at all. IGN has to be a dick and slide that shit in their video to turn them on into that. So it's all over the place. Like, I look at certain games. I've been gaming for a long time, so a lot of this shit isn't new to me. It's about how you tie it together, what kind of experiences that you're putting together, and then with that, my frame's starting to get smaller when I want to play. So now I'm not looking at games like Inside, and certain like that. And I don't mean to call out Inside, but Inside just got nominations for Game of the Year all over the place, and I was just like, yo, I didn't even hear this shit. So, you know, is what it is. And when we talk about innovation over on the PlayStation blog, and I know this is biased, but I just want you to hear this out. They talking about The Last Guardian was the most innovative title that came out. And I'm sitting here like, son, this game is 10 years old. There's no way they innovated. That was the most innovative game. There's no way. You know what I mean? So what are we masking innovation now? Like, are we masking what the player's gonna play? Are the good games coming to the top? Are the good games being positioned? Is there too many games where you can't see what's going on? Is your game, you see Assassin's Creed took a year off, you see Need for Speed took a year off, actually they're about to do another year. You know what I mean? Like, are these, like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Why is there so many fucking games coming out between October and December? Why not sprinkle some of this shit out between fucking April and July? You know what I mean? Like, if you just look at what's happening, all this shit is collectively making people feel just a little disgusted with games. And if you're participating in the YouTube shit, that helps drive your shit. Because there's a lot of times where I just sit here and I'm like, why am I even doing YouTube? Because this shit is like one big ass circus. And for those who like the drama and the beef, that's what it works. But they pushing me out. You know what I mean? They're pushing me out because here we are making videos and motherfuckers stealing our content to make argument videos. And we struggling for subscribers. And we ain't have that other shit that was happening to everybody else, that shit didn't affect us. When people was losing subscribers, we didn't get affected by it because I know we earned them. But how many of those people who subscribe to us are affected by what the other channels are just subscribed to, by the shit that they're pushing, how their game flow changed, how are they looking at other games now? So, you know, it's hard because I feel like Gravity Rush and probably Nier Automata ain't gonna get a lot of looks. And I'm not saying that they should. I'm not saying they shouldn't. What I'm saying is there's gonna be people out there who have gaming in their title who's gonna badmouth these games. And the person who's absorbing that shit, whether you're fucking 8 years old or 28 or 38 or 48, you're going to be swayed one way, and hopefully you come across a real person or a real channel or whatever, and it'll get looked at, and you'll be like, oh, maybe I should go check it out. I bring up another couple stories. I think about Vanquish. If it wasn't for Classic Game Room, I love that dude channel. I don't think he still does it anymore. He came up.
I saw something from him recently.
I know he switched up his content at one point. He was doing some other shit, but anyway, he came out and was like, "Yo, this right here is my game of the year." Blah 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 blah. And I'm just looking at it like, damn, like this shit is tough. How come? And this is back when I was in it. I'm following everything, and that was from Sega. How the fuck did I miss that? Greg Miller, before Greg Miller became the powerhouse that Greg Miller is, he mentioned it too. And I was just like, wow, that was taboo for him to say that because he was an IGN, but he was also young and dumb, full of cum, and didn't give a fuck about that. And he still didn't give a fuck about that rank. Like, no, we can't talk about that game because, you know, they ain't come from EA or somebody. It's not the typical blah, blah, blah. And I went and got it. One of the best games I've ever fucking played in my life. And
What
it's
game
not
is that?
Vanquish. You know what I mean? And it was like, it's not doing anything special. It's just what it does fantastic. You get what I'm saying? It's special at... Huh?
So I like Greg Miller.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game for what it is. It didn't promise us anything. It just is what it is. I look at Shadow of Mordor, the entire gaming world, the entire even Lord of the Ring fans was like, yeah, I ain't fucking with that shit. Guess what? One of the best games ever fucking
Mhm.
played. But who's bringing that up? Who's talking that up? That
Nah,
shit.
that was. Remember, I told you about that because the devs of Assassin's Creed had accused them of stealing the shit.
Yeah, but I didn't even hear. I didn't even hear that. I didn't hear that till you told me that. I had already beat Shadow of Mordor,
Yeah.
and I
Nah,
bought
that's
Shadow of Mordor
because
late.
I think a lot of people had wrote it off already because they had got caught up in that dumb fuckery.
Right, right, and right, and I played that game. I played Assassin's Creed. Nah, not at all. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure.
But and that's the thing. Like, how I feel like since the magazines is because its paper is dead, I feel like gaming is really going to shit. It took a
Yeah.
while to get to this point because magazines kind of been dead for a long time. I know some people still get them, but you're missing the point of what I'm saying of it. But I felt like when it was GamePro, who had the best integrity out of all of them, when EGM was really writing, EGM was informal, was really writing, I would pick up these magazines and I would see like all this shit. Full Throttle was one game that took forever to come out, and when the shit finally came out, I never wanted to play it. But GameSpot and EGM used to be the ones who used to fucking spread love to everybody. They used to spread love to every game. Every game known to possible. They give you a reason why you should play it, a reason why you might want to avoid it, and they tell you for the good of... They never bash the game. They never shat a game, and they didn't have fucking reviews like how some of these reviewers do, where it's like, yeah, I felt like a game shouldn't have, this type of political context in it, and blah blah blah. Like, motherfucker, I play video games to escape my everyday life. I don't give a fuck about if you felt like this character should have been blah blah. Like, come on, son. Like, like
I
don't
felt like
don't put your shit. Report, do the game justice, and blah blah blah. Like all that other shit. Like those little type of sways. All that shit incrementally just take away, because then you got developers who gotta listen to this shit and be like, okay, alright, so next time when I make a game, don't make a character like Tracer with a nice ass, because people are looking at Tracer's ass instead of what the fuck Tracer could do. And then all of a sudden, Tracer's gay. She's a lesbian. So what's the problem now? So a bunch of straight dudes was looking at this woman's ass and she's gay. So you telling me a gay woman can't have a nice ass? But it's a fucking game. Who's looking at the ass? She's not even the most over-sexualized character in that game, but that was what the controversy was around that game. Are you serious? Like, shit like that needs to stay out of gaming. Now, I'm not saying anything about the other part of it where, women being represented, blah blah blah. I'm black. I bought Battlefield statue because he's black. So I get that part. I'm not writing that off. What I'm saying is there's so much stuff surrounding gaming and everybody's getting chipped away at it. Everybody's getting some kind of chip away at it. And I feel like creativity is lacking because everybody's trying to pay attention to the PC stuff. And I don't mean computers, I mean the politically correct shit, in the area where everyone's supposed to be going wild and crazy with your imagination. And I also feel weird because with all this stuff going on over Tracer's ass and her being a lesbian, this and the third. I remember I shouldn't say that because that's a spoiler. But I remember when I found out about Mafia and what the fuck that was about. Ain't nobody said shit about that. Mafia 3 ain't nobody said nothing about that.
nobody probably played halfway through the game to find out what you're talking about.
Yeah,
The,
dude.
All the reviews.
the reviewers, right? It's like the reviewers kindly didn't say anything about any of that stuff, and I'm watching clips and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, oh, what's this? What's that? So it's a lot of things, and my advice to you is you gotta drown a lot of that noise out. Because if it wasn't for me talking to Ramon and we having our noise conversation, you guys wouldn't have got videos. If you just look at all the videos I did and then look at all the videos Ramon did, remove all my videos from the feed, you will only see when Ramon posts.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would have just been like, yo, I'm out. Like, I'm done. Like he said, he don't want to come home and turn the shit on. I come home, I just look at both my consoles and the Wii U and be like, Which one of y'all want to piss me off today? Versus what can I play? You know what I mean? And I just don't even be with it half the time because I'm so drowned out with bullshit.
True, true.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Horizon 3. Shout out to Xenoblade Chronicles X. Shout out to Final Fantasy XV.
Final Fantasy is good. I like it.
Yeah. And fuck Capcom.
Yeah, so that's what gaming is.
That's the state of gaming, according to me, Rizza, and Edgar. It might be something different for you. Hit us up in the comment section below. Let us know. Don't forget, Lifestyles Defined is the big channel. Check that out. Check us out over there. Link in the description below. We also have a photography channel, a kicks channel, and an accessories channel. And we also have a repository gaming channel as well, where we just post clips and we don't talk over them.
Might start a cooking channel next, bitches. Cookies for everybody.
Oh, Thug Kitchen, baby. Thug Kitchen 101.
Word up. Who did
I'm
that?
No, there is a Thug Kitchen. That's the
Yeah, who is that?
I
Who
forget
that
it.
Ghostface leaned into.
Yeah, I forgot. Shout out to that person.
Yeah, you don't matter. Ghost wiped you off the map, son. Action Bronson.
Was it Action? Probably was Action
Yeah,
Bronson.
It was him. It was him.
Yeah, so.
Whatever.
I will thank you guys for giving in. Yo, Lance, thank you for the question. I had to get these guys on video since I had them. So from Ramon and Edgar and Snow, we out of here. Peace.
Peace.